Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Friday, April the 26th, and we are on day 12 of our life cycle of a chicken unit. That means that we have 9 days left. So we're going to flip through our progression of the diagrams of an embryo for the first 12 days. This is 9, 10, 11. This was yesterday when it said the beak continues to harden. And today we have day 12. Now I want you to see all the different body parts that you see today that we've been writing about. We've been writing about the feathers forming, the legs forming, what we call the chicken. We've been writing about the beak, the yolk, the eggs. Today we have the toes are now fully formed and down feathers are visible. So when you look at a baby chick, you're going to see the very first feathers that form on his body are the down feathers. He's a bird. Chickens are birds, and so they have different kinds of feathers on their body. The first layer is down feathers, and they're on every bird that you see flying around, even penguins. They don't fly, but they still have down feathers. Down feathers are the soft yellow feathers on a baby chick, and they're also the ones that provide insulation. So they're the ones that keep the bird warm, right? And then the other feathers that grow on top of that have different functions. So contour feathers are the feathers that cover the body. A chicken has flight feathers. They have primary flight feathers, secondary flight feathers. They have tail feathers that help them to guide their flight. So they have a lot of different kinds of feathers. And the first one that forms is down feathers. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to look at how you clip a chicken's wings. And the reason why you would want to do that, let me come up here to the video, is because if you're going to keep chickens as pets, then you don't want them flying out of your coop, right? So you would have to clip the wings, usually just one side of the wings, so that you can keep the chicks in your coop. So we're going to watch this short little video.
Does your chicken think it's Superman? Do you need to stop it from taking off but you don't have any kryptonite? We're going to show you how you can painlessly clip your chicken's wings with just a pair of ordinary scissors. First, you need to pick up your chicken. Then, stretch out your chicken wings to locate the primary flight feathers. The primary flight feathers are the big ones on the front. You'll be able to clearly see the next line of smaller feathers above the primary ones, and you use these as a guide of where it's safe to cut. As the chicken flaps, it's these bad boys that generate all the lift. So by clipping them, you can effectively prevent your chicken from flying. It helps to have the right tools for the job. Okay, so let's have a go. It's totally painless. Just make sure you only cut the primary flight feathers. They are tough, so use some nice sharp scissors. Don't worry if you snip one too many. You only need to do one side, that's enough to unbalance your pet. You can do this by yourself, like this talented chap, or you can ask someone to give you a hand. For the chicken, it's just the equivalent of going to the hairdressers for a bit of a trim. It's the same for...
Okay, we'll stop right there. So did you hear what she said? There are no blood vessels that run through the feathers, and so it's painless. It's like clipping your fingernails or getting a haircut at the salon. It doesn't hurt to have your hair cut, right? It doesn't hurt to clip your fingernails. So it doesn't hurt a chicken to have his feathers cut either. Which feathers was it that she said you would cut? Do you remember? How many feathers did it look like that they cut at one time? Those are the types of things when you're watching these videos, you want to remember those facts because we're going to be using those in our writing. Remember our narrative writing stories that we're talking about. We use all the information that we find each day in those. So today, my boys and girls will be talking about the down feathers that cover the body first, but they can also write about the primary flight feathers, the secondary flight feathers, the tail feathers in the back, and what they're all good for, okay? So very quickly what we'll do, I'm in the dark this morning. It is about 6:30. I'm up at the school. I'm turning off all the lights because what I want to do is try to look again for movement. We'll only be able to do this for the next day or two, look at the chick moving inside, and then after that point, slide this over. Then after that point, it's going to be too dark inside for us to look and see anything anymore. So we need to enjoy this while we can. So I'm going to set the lid over here to the side. These are our chicks. These are all the ones that we know are fertilized and are growing. These are 4 in the back that have been fertilized, but we're not sure if they're still growing or not, and we don't want to leave any eggs in here past day 14 that may explode on us if the embryo has stopped growing. So right now we're down to 22 total, but we have 18 that are for sure growing, fertilized, all of that. I'm going to turn the light off on the TV too. I meant to do that. And then we'll go back over and look at a few together in the dark. Okay? How exciting. All right, so let's turn our flashlight on. Let's get one of the ones that are light in color, and let's take a look. I'm going to try to cover up the flashlight light at the bottom just as much as possible so you can see that, you know, the main things we're looking for, you guys know by now, is the air sac. We're looking for veining. We're looking for the embryo. See how this one is almost all covered up? Like we only have that little space right there now that is not. So that's what I mean by they start to get to where you can't really candle them anymore and see inside. Let's try this one. Okay. Not much space left that is not dark and covered up, is it? Let's flip it on this side. This is the wide side so that you can see the air sac down at the bottom. We can also see some movement in there. Do you see that? We see all the vein structure, all the blood vessels going around. And look at it move. Oh, he's going to show off for us this morning. How exciting. I'll be real still and real quiet and let you take a look. See if you can see some of the things that we have learned about our growing. So we know there are eyes in there, there's a beak in there, feet, toes today, feathers. Look at all that movement. This one is terribly happy and healthy and strong. I'm going to be still for just a minute, be quiet, and let you look at all this movement. All right, boys and girls, that wraps up our day 12 video. We have 9 days left. Today is Friday, so by the time you guys come back on Monday, we'll be down to 6 days left. Can you believe it? Happens so quickly, doesn't it? All right, thank you for joining us today. How exciting.